Hey everybody, the big moment is finally here and I get to do my big reveal on my long-awaited Jezebel miniature. If you remember, last year at Salute, I had the opportunity to talk with the guys at Paranoid Miniatures, and they had the coolest art book out on the table that I made a big production over. And they were very appreciative for that and hooked me up with their artist, Shane Cook. And I got to do a very interesting task and work with an artist to create my own character. So I came up with my steampunk witch, Jezebel, and I think what Shane ended up with was nothing short of amazing. She's full of character, really wanted to learn who she was, how she came to be that way. And with my final piece of artwork, it was amazing, and I thought we were done. And then we got to thinking, what if we took this to the next level and had her made into a miniature? So I got in contact with our friends over at Prodos Games and put the piece of artwork in the hands of my new favorite magicians. And I think what they were able to put together was truly a piece of art, really. So without further ado, let me show you my Jezebel miniature. She came in a little bag on a single sprue with the exception of one piece. And I think the level of detail that they were able to accomplish with her was really pretty brilliant. She's got all of the details from the drawing, her steampunk arm and hand with the skull on it, the laces on the back of her corset and on her boots, the chain. I think it's really impressive. And what I really wanted to show you guys on the sprue here is that this is literally how it looked when it came to me. No cleaning up, no trimming, no prettying up in any way. It is extremely clean. There's almost no mold lines on her. And all that I had to do was clip the pieces off and put her together, which that's the next piece that I want to show you. This is Jezebel. She went together like an absolute dream. All of the pieces fit together very, very nicely. There wasn't much fiddling that I had to do with anything. You can see the level of detail throughout is just really remarkable. I wanted to talk a minute about the choice that they made on the chain. This was a big concerning piece for us in that in the artwork, if you remember, the chain came like up and around her in the air, which in a 2D picture was phenomenal and really gave a nice element of motion to the picture. But when we talked about bringing it into a miniature, you had to wonder about whether you were going to be able to make a piece that was going to be the appropriate scale for the size miniature we were dealing with, or it would have to be so big to be sturdy enough to stay with it. Otherwise you run the risk of fiddly bits that are going to break when you're trying to put it together. And once we're not moving in a straight line anymore, you can't really pin it. But they were able to do, the sword and this mechanical arm, I think is just absolutely ridiculous. And you can just see the skull prints on things, the delicate aspects of the fingers. On the front of her corset, you can actually see flying monkeys on there. I wanted a little touch of a Wizard of Oz-esque piece in there, so I just thought it was remarkable what they were able to come up with. If you ever have an opportunity to develop your own character or make a miniature, I can't recommend the process enough. It was a complete eye-opener for me. All of these games that we love to play, it gives you a completely new appreciation for what goes into producing a miniature, producing a game. When I look at the time and the steps and things that were involved for me to just have Jezebel made, and you get to thinking about a skirmish game with 5 miniatures or 10 miniatures, or take it up to 20 or take it up to 50, all of a sudden it becomes abundantly clear all the things that are involved with putting a game together. So it really was a very cool connect the dots experience for me. So ManPug, very soon you'll finally be receiving your copy of Jezebel as well as your artwork. I need to give a big thank you to the fellows over at Paranoid Miniatures for connecting me with the fantastic artist Shane Cook, and then to my new favorite magicians over at Prodos and the sorcery that they were able to work. Just kidding, all the skill and talent that went into the production of making this beautiful 3D miniature. And on that subject, I'm trying to finalize the pieces of this, but when I did my first article, there was plenty of people that said they would really, they would buy something like this. If that is something of interest to you, I am working with Prodos about trying to see if I can do a limited run of Jezebel. I do need to get some idea of what kind of interest there is in that, though. So please comment below. Let me know if that is something that you would be interested in. And if I can swing it, there's a very good chance I may actually have them in hand at Salute. So if you're going to be there, it'll be a very easy place for you to pick that up. If you're not, we can work that out on the side as well too. So thank you for following along with me. I did write a background story on Jezebel, but it's a little bit long, so we were not able to put it in this article. So very shortly, a follow-up article will appear with just that story. So if that's of interest to you, give it a read. Let me know what you think. It does a good job of explaining how and why Jezebel looks like she does and came to getting all these interesting pieces of equipment that she has with her. So thanks so much for following along with me.